welcome to the first episode of Take a Break. I apologize if there's any awkward silences in the podcast because it's my first episode. Today I have the one and only Rachel. What's your last name?
My new last name is Traynor, but
Okay.
I did change my middle name to my maiden name, so it's still Rachel Huston.
Okay.
Traynor.
Okay. How's the married life?
Married life is so good.
Is it?
Yeah, and what's funny about it is I didn't think I would ever think that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think I wanted to get married for most of my life,
Mm-hmm.
but married life is great. Hunter's great. We're settling in. We just hit our 6-month mark of marriage.
Oh my God.
So I feel like, everyone says the first year is like really rough, and I feel like so far it's kind of not that rough or rough at all. It's really fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
What makes it? Why do you think it's not that rough for you?
I think what Hunter and I did really well was talk about a lot of heavy hitting items before we even got engaged. We just cut through the shit. We're like, what are we doing with our finances? Are we joining finances? Are we not? Are we having kids? How many kids? How do we feel about, boundaries with friends and family? Like, we just talked about a lot of heavy hitting topics so that when we got engaged and married, none of that was a surprise. It wasn't like, okay, we're married now, let's join our finances. And the other person wasn't like, oh, we're not doing that. You know what I mean? Like, we just kind of took all the heavy hitting reasons that people get divorced or why relationships failed, and we tried to reverse engineer those and be like, let's talk about this on the front end so that there's no surprises. And it's not like we never argue or disagree on things, but
Right.
I feel like we're really on the same page with a lot of the big stuff, which is helpful.
Yeah, I feel like that's where people go wrong. They kind of hide secrets or hide little things like, oh, well, this is not that big. It could be huge for that person.
Definitely.
And you just go throughout your whole relationship without talking about it. And then suddenly one day you blow up and then it's like, oh, I didn't know that about you.
For sure. Or they wait until they get married or X amount of years down the road in their relationship to talk about things, or think that the other person will change their mind. Like, oh, I know you said you don't want kids right now, but we're just dating. Like, I'm going to assume you'll change your mind. That type of stuff. I feel like that doesn't really work. Like, you should go in to the marriage or the long-term relationship, really knowing where your partner stands on that.
Right.
And if they change their mind down the road, great, but assume that they're not going to.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want children?
Oh, we're getting into it.
Yeah, I told you. You said everything's off the table.
No,
so.
yeah, I'm an open book. Yeah, I do want children again, which is funny because for probably 29 and a half years of my life, I would have said that no, absolutely not. I don't. Mm-hmm. And then this weird thing in my brain happened when I met Hunter. And I was like, I want 5 kids. And I think there's something about being with a partner who makes you feel very safe and that you can picture that type of life with that can actually change your brain chemistry. I don't know that in previous relationships I ever felt safe enough or stable enough or secure enough or equally matched with my partner to say that I would want that. But with Hunter, I was like, oh my gosh, I have an equal partner in this and I could see this for us. And maybe it had something to do with turning 30, but my motherly instincts kicked in. I'm like, okay, when can we have a baby?
Yeah. So any plans for that in the future, or are we gonna wait for that?
Well, it's hard, right? Because I'm 31 and there is such thing as a biological clock.
Yeah.
Which is something I try to not think about too much because I know there's people who have kids well into their 30s or 40s and it's fine. But there is that factor, but also we've been married 6 months. So it's this delicate balance of okay, let's savor this time that we're not going to have back for a very long time, but let's also be mindful of the biological clock here. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe in the next year. I also don't... Everyone says, you plan and God laughs, and so we'll see what happens. Could be next week, could be in 5 years.
That's true. I mean, gotta go with the flow sometimes.
You do. You just have to roll the punches.
So a lot of people are asking this question, and it kind of triggers me in a little bit of aspect. It triggers me because I have your back, and a lot of people are like, why do chiropractors get to call themselves doctors, but physical therapists don't? And I'm like, what?
Oh, so actually recently within the past, I don't know how many years, and maybe this is not a well-known fact, but they did recently change the physical therapist curriculum and program to be a doctorate program. So now both chiropractors and physical therapists are considered doctors and have doctorate degrees. And physical therapists who graduated earlier than, I can't remember what year it is, are not considered doctors, but physical therapists after that year are. But something that a lot of people don't know about chiropractors and why people ask the like, are you a real doctor question, or why are you a doctor question, is because chiropractors are actually considered primary care physicians. Like in our school, we are trained in full body physical examination. Like I have an otoscope and an whatever it's called, to like look in your ears and your eyes. I know how to do like an abdominal exam. I know how to do a physical. I can refer for imaging. Really the only thing I can't do is prescribe drugs.
Yeah.
But other than that, I can order blood work. And I feel like a lot of people just don't know that about chiropractors.
I feel like that's true. I mean, I think a lot of people, because I work in an orthopedic office right now, and a lot of my patients are very against chiropractic because they're like, oh, they're just going to pop me and they're going to cause me more pain. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't think that's how that works, though.
But there are... Okay, have you been to any other chiropractors besides me?
Yes. And when I went there, they were like, okay, let's do x-rays. Mm-hmm. And then x-rays showed I had, like, my disc was moving a little bit. So then the guy was like, okay, you're going to have to come in, like, 4 times a week.
See, and that is why I think people get the bad image of chiropractors in their head, is because I'd never want to throw shade on any other practitioner, but the type of chiropractors who use, like, fear, like, look at your x-ray, you have this going on, and they use these big words that you probably didn't really know what it meant, even though it was probably no big deal, but you didn't know what it was, so they're like, let me use this word and kind of prey upon your lack of knowledge about your anatomy. Why would you have knowledge about your anatomy? You didn't go to medical school. Mm-hmm. And then use that to convince you that you need to come in 4 times a week for months to fix this. And by the way, we need you to pay everything up front, and it's going to be $3,000. And people are like, what the hell? Like, I just woke up with a kink in my neck. Like, I don't want to do this. Mm-hmm. So I think that's where a lot of them get a bad rap. And while that's not great for the patient, when you look at the business aspect of it, it's easy to see why they do that, why they, like, sell you this, like, extensive care plan. But it's wrong, in my opinion. It's wrong to do that if it's not in the patient's best interest.
No, 100%. I was very upset when I went to that clinic because they're like, yeah, you're going to come 4 times. It's $40 to $60 every time you come in. And I'm like, okay. Honestly, like, I just need you to, like, dry needle. And they're like, oh, we don't do that. And I'm like, okay, so never mind.
And also, who has time to go to the chiropractor 4 times a week? Not me, and I don't think you do either.
No, I mean, I have a full-time job, so it's like, I can't imagine going to my manager and being like, hey, so I know I was gone yesterday for chiropractic stuff, but can I again? Because they're going to be like,
and again the next day, and again the next day.
Yeah, they're going to be like, absolutely not.
Right.
Yeah. What is so different about your practice? People want to know.
Okay. So I'll just speak to you like you've never been in before.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
So we are a multidisciplinary clinic, which means that, yes, I'm a chiropractor, but we have other disciplines in the office as well. So we have 2 physical therapists, we have 3 personal trainers, and we have a dietitian, which is cool because even though we come from different backgrounds and educations, we all are working toward the same goal. And it turns out we play really nicely together. And so we kind of think of our approach as a hybrid approach. So even though I'm a chiropractor, I'm not just focused on the adjustment. As you know, you've been in to appointments, and we focus on the soft tissues. So whether that's dry needling or scraping or cupping or ART, of course the adjustment is a piece of the appointment, but then we're also really focused on the rehab and the exercise piece. So like you're a power lifter, and if you're having pain in your deadlift, we probably want to look at your deadlift and your biomechanics and see, are we compensating? Are we bracing correctly? How's our hip mobility? And then prescribe exercises based on that to get people returning to the activities that they're trying to do without pain.
See, and that's why I enjoy going to you, because of that exact reason. I've had multiple people just tell me, well, I want to know what Rachel has that's different compared to other people, because again, like the beginning of the topic, it was the whole every chiropractor is the same, or I'm scared to go to a chiropractor. And it's like, I don't want you to be scared to go see someone that I trust my whole life. Like, I would take my mom, who has a torn ACL, to you and be like, will you please fix her?
And I also
somehow?
that's very nice of you to say that, by the way. And I also want people to know that I can't speak for every chiropractor, but in my office, like, patient preferences dictate majority of the appointment. So I feel like there's been times when you've come in and you've been like, I don't want my neck adjusted today, I just want dry needling done. And I'm like, cool, we don't have to adjust today. Like, whatever it is that you want to do, we're doing it. Whatever makes you nervous or you're not feeling that day, we don't have to do it because we have all these other tools that we can use. And so it's not like you're just going to come in and I'm going to lay you on the table and start going ham with whatever I think is best. It's like very much a conversation of like, what are we feeling today? What are we in the mood for? What do you think is going on? Coupled, of course, with my professional judgment. But.
Right, absolutely. No, that's pretty cool. I guess, what does every team player bring to the table?
Like every person at the Body Lab?
Yeah.
It's cool because everyone kind of, even though they're, like, I would trust any patient with any one of our practitioners and trust that they would get really great care, but it seems like everyone kind of has their niche. So Jamie, have you met Jamie?
Yeah.
Have you worked with her? Have you seen her?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Jamie, for whatever reason, is like the foot genius. Like, is so good at treating plantar fasciitis and big toe pain and ankle pain for whatever reason. Like, is a genius at it. I can treat it, but I would say she's maybe better at it. Meanwhile, I feel like I'm like low back and hip oriented. Like, that is kind of my jam. When someone comes in with a low back or hip, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to treat this. Kelly's really great with shoulders. So we all kind of have our own strengths. Jamie was a volleyball player, and so she does really well with overhead athletes. Kelly is an endurance athlete, so she does really well with like marathoners and cyclists. I come from a big strength training background, and so I vibe really well with the powerlifters and the CrossFitters. So yeah, we all kind of have our own niche, even though we can all kind of do everything. Like, I'm sure when you saw Jamie, you got not exactly the same, but a very similar experience to when you see me. Yeah. Hopefully, I can't speak for you, but
the only difference I'll tell you is the dry needling.
Okay.
She is so gentle.
I was good.
She's so gentle, guys, and no offense to you, but it feels like you're just like, haha, I'm having fun.
That is actually the running debate in our office, and I think some people prefer, like, Jamie has just like such a gentle touch, and it's like so soothing and so wonderful, and there's a lot of people who prefer that, and I'm a little bit, maybe, I don't want to say aggressive, but like maybe a little more heavy-handed and just kind of like to get after it a little bit, and there's people who prefer that, and so I don't want to know what your vote is, but
I mean, do I like the gentle part? Yeah, I do, but I also want to get it done and over with. So it's like, I will take whatever Rachel gives me today, and if it kind of hurts, it kind of hurts. I mean, I've had that chest needle done, and that's probably...
Is that the worst?
No, my hand.
Oh, we needled your hand. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we needled my hand.
That was worse than the
back. That was the worst thing ever. Like that, I wanted to be able to like squeeze. My brain was like, squeeze. And
with the needle in it.
Right, and I'm like, no. And so then I have to do that a lot when you do that to like my neck. Sometimes I want to do this, like a shrug, right when you're like needling me.
Your body tells you like, definitely flex as hard as you can in the area where the needle's about.
Have people ever done that?
That's not recommended. Yeah, people have done that, and then they realize quickly like that doesn't feel very good. So you definitely want to stay relaxed during that.
What happens if, like, let's say someone does contract?
Well, it just doesn't, it's not hurting anything per se. It just is not going to feel very good because you're putting the needle into a trigger point within the muscle. And then if you contract that muscle, you're like moving the needle. Okay. And the needles are by design very like flexible and bendable. And so even if you do move, like the needle will bend, it will never break off. It's like totally fine to do, but you will feel it moving, and that doesn't usually feel very good.
I thought about that one time. I was like, what if I move and you're doing my low back really close to like not my spine, but like that area. And I thought, what if I move?
Intrusive thoughts are taking
and I get paralyzed.
That wouldn't happen because it's in your muscle in such a specific area. It's like, yeah, that wouldn't happen, but you would probably bend the needle. And in fact, I've had that happen where someone like kind of like flexes their back as I'm needling them, and I take the needle out and it's like literally bent.
I should have had you bring your needles, now that I think about that, so that people can see it, because I've had coworkers who've had like back injuries or like just typical morning time stiffness, and I'm like, go get dry needled. Not necessarily by you, because where I'm at, we have a physical therapist and chiropractor. So I'm like, get dry needle. They're like, oh, no, it's a needle. Like, it's scary.
It is scary. Do you have a needle phobia? Like, before you got dry needled for the first time? You don't have any needle phobia?
I mean, tattooed.
Yeah, true. But I think, like, if people have a needle phobia, like, they don't like IVs or shots or getting their blood drawn. Like, I'm that way. I fucking hate getting... Can I cuss on you?
Yeah, okay, absolutely.
Okay. Hate getting my blood drawn and, like, need to be laid down. I think it's... because the needle's going into a blood vessel versus when the needle's going into your muscle. I don't know. Something about that in my brain was different. But I think people can just have a needle phobia and not fully understand.
Do you think they could have it without knowing?
Have a needle phobia without knowing? Certainly, yes. I've had people in my office coming in to get dry needled for the first time. They're like, I'm totally fine with needles. Right. I want to get dry needled. And I'm like, okay, word. I explain the whole thing. I have them laid on the table. I put the first needle in. They go, usually how it goes, they go radio silent. And I'm like, are you doing okay? And they'll be like, yeah. And then I'll be like, okay, do you need a minute? They'll be like, I'm getting kind of sweaty and I'm starting to get a little bit dizzy. And I'll be like, we're taking the needles out, and usually I have to like turn the fan on, go get them a water. So it can happen without the person really expecting it.
Oh, okay. That would be scary.
It is. I've never had someone, knock on wood, I've never had someone actually pass out or vomit yet in my office from it, but I've had some really close calls.
Really?
Yeah.
I figured that nobody would get to that point, but I guess if you have like a phobia or something, then yeah.
Yeah, or sometimes things just happen in your brain that you can't control. Like, have you ever been in on like a surgery or a dental procedure or something that you're watching and you're like, I'm totally fine, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm like not fine. And it's not anything that you can consciously control. It just kind of starts happening.
Yeah. I've seen like wound care, because we do wound care, stuff like that. And I have seen plenty of wounds at this point. But I've had one wound that I was like, whoa.
Like it started happening to you.
Yeah, and then I was like, whoa, I feel really nauseous.
Uh-huh.
I was like, what the heck? This is like not my first wound. I know what's going on.
Did you have to leave the room?
Yeah, I left the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had to like chill out for a second. It wasn't even the odor. It was just like the bone sticking out. And I was like, okay, wow. And my brain was like, that's not normal. You're not supposed to be seeing that. So I immediately had to exit because
your brain was like, you're either going to leave this room or you're blacking out right here. You're going to be on the floor.
Super scary.
Yeah, so the same thing can happen with dry needling. I think once your brain is like, we have a needle in our muscle. I don't know if that's supposed to be there. And you start like thinking about it, similar to the bone sticking out of the wound. Okay.
My question for you, you ready for this one?
Hit me.
Drake or Kendrick?
You know what? My husband would kill me for saying this, but I think Kendrick.
Okay.
Wait.
I'm Kendrick too.
You're Kendrick too? Okay, yeah. I thought you were.
Well, I was Drake for a very long time.
You switched.
Yeah, because like, no offense to Drake, but, or maybe offense to Drake, maybe you get some underneath him to go, but it's not the same. Now it's very like, I want to pick a battle with every single person there is. And now I have a battle with you, and now I'm going to just keep going and going, and I'm like, Drake.
I know, it's getting kind of old, and Drake has been my husband's #1 artist on Spotify for like 10 years.
Oh my God.
Which I think is kind of a red flag, to be honest. But I also, okay, here's a question for you. When you're listening to music, I can't remember if we've talked about this, are you mostly listening to the lyrics, or are you mostly listening to like the actual, like the production and the music and the beat? Like, what does your brain go to first?
Can I do both?
No. You have to choose one.
Lyrics, for sure.
Lyrics first.
Yeah. Like, if you have some good bars, I'm all game for that. Then I'm like, okay, yeah.
What if you have good bars, but the like, beat kind of sucks?
Then, yeah, the song would suck, for sure. But, I mean, you put, like, Eminem, right? Like, he's a great lyricist. You put him, and you put a really crappy beat. I feel like he would still find a way to make it sound decent for you to listen to.
Yes.
You know, so I think it depends all on the lyricist. Because if you were to put, let's say Kendrick with a really crappy beat, would he be able to come up with like Eminem's, you know, and like, oh, I can do this? Or would he have a really crappy song?
Mm-hmm. It's my belief that if the beat sucks, then I don't even care what the lyrics are.
Okay, that's fair.
But everyone's different.
Right.
There's lyrics people, and then there's like beats people, I think.
How about Future or Drake?
Drake.
What?
I think. Maybe I just don't. I like Future. I don't think I know enough of the repertoire to make like a fair judgment. I definitely know more Drake songs.
Yeah, that's fair. Right now, I'm really on my Future gig. I don't know what
Really?
it is. Yeah, like I have 9 songs on my playlist for my powerlifting playlist when I'm in the gym that are just Future.
Okay, will you send those to me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Update me on my Future repertoire.
Yeah. I don't know how to explain it. His voice is chill, and then the way he delivers certain songs is where I'm like, okay, I like this.
But there's also lots of Future Drake collabs.
Which I wish Drake never messed that relationship up. Like,
he messed it up.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know the tea.
About that?
I try to stay out of celebrity drama. Okay.
God. So, Drake has been throwing shade supposedly to Future, and then Future was like, "I'm not gonna do this." So he made a song or a whole entire album with Metro, and then there's a couple songs that he's just like, "Yeah, you're not a good friend," and so everybody was like, "Oh, is it about Drake?" Because Drake supposedly slept with a girl that Future slept with, and that is a big no-no in the industry.
What a mess.
Mm-hmm. And so then Drake and Future have been beefing, for sure.
Which is so annoying. Like, maybe this is an unpopular opinion, I kind of hate a diss track. Like, I'm kind of like, if you don't like someone, why are you spending your energy and time writing a whole song or album about them? Why don't you move on?
Yeah.
Like, why don't you just not spend your energy on them?
Younger me or different me would not agree with you, because, like, the older me, would you call that older me?
Yeah, more mature, wise, healed version of you.
No, so the current me agrees with you.
Uh-huh.
The old version of me would have disagreed with you. Yeah, because the old me would have been like, no, I love diss tracks. Like, it gets people hyped. And, yeah, I want to hear about why you don't like them. But the more I've grown, I've realized that, like, that's kind of toxic.
Definitely.
You
and
know?
while it's entertaining, it's, like, fun to know other people's drama.
Yeah.
It's also exhausting.
Right.
And what I've realized, and maybe this is just getting out of hand because of social media, but, like, mean, rude comments, diss tracks, rude videos about people, I'm, like, a healed, busy, secure, content person does not have time or capacity to leave mean comments or write diss tracks.
Yeah.
So I hope all those people heal who are writing diss tracks. Drake, I hope you heal.
I hope, anybody who has, like, rude comments towards anybody, they heal, you know, because, goodness.
I'm going to start commenting that on every rude Instagram or TikTok comment I see. I hope you heal.
Do people ever leave bad comments?
On my stuff?
Yeah.
No. Not in a long time.
Okay.
I've gotten some.
Ugh, of course.
I've gotten some. Back when I was like, I don't know if you remember back in the day, I used to pump out some Instagram content for the Body Lab. I used to be making content. Like...
Yeah, you did. You were pumping a lot of content
I was pumping a lot of content out, and I had this one video in particular that, this was probably a few years ago, that went, for the time, like, fairly viral, had probably close to 1 million views, which was crazy at that time because I was like...
Wow.
I didn't know what I was doing, and I wasn't really ready for that, and thank God that was the only one. But it was this video demonstrating the difference between a hinge and a squat. And I think people took it the wrong way, and there are people, like this group of fucking guys in the comments that were like, this girl doesn't know what she's talking about. It's clear that she's fresh out of school, and like ganging up on me in the comments, and I'm like bawling and about to delete my Instagram and close down the Body Lab, you know, but I don't let that kind of stuff get to me anymore, and also that hasn't happened in a long time.
Of course, it's because you're not a bro. You know, that's the reason why.
They see some girl trying to
Yeah.
deadlift on Instagram. They're like, girls shouldn't deadlift.
Girls shouldn't know how to do anything.
Girls shouldn't know anything. Girls are actually dumb.
Yeah, that's what basically a lot of guys on Instagram are.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
correct.
no, and I can't freaking stand them. I also can't stand them on TikTok when they're just completely rude to just anybody for whatever they post on TikTok. It's like, bro, like you said, you really have that much time.
You really have that much time, and you really need to let everyone know that you hate women? Like, are you that bored?
Yeah. Now I think about something I was going to ask you. Is your practice only women, or is it you'll ever get another male practitioner in there?
It is currently only women.
Okay.
I have hired a few males that are no longer employed by me for different reasons, but yeah, I'm not against the idea of bringing on a male provider or a male trainer. I just maybe haven't had the best experience. I think it would take a very specific fit, because I am also, I think besides my office manager, the youngest one in my office.
Really?
But I'm also the boss. Like, I own the place. And I'm also a girl. So for a man to come in and be like, oh, you're younger than me potentially, and you're also a girl, but I have to kind of submit to your leadership, like that takes a very certain type of man who can do that. And that would be what I'm looking for if I were to hire a man.
Well, there you go, guys.
There you go, guys. If you are a secure man who doesn't mind submitting to female leadership,
Yeah.
come on over to the Body Lab.
And that's another reason why I love your practice, is because it's ran by you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a woman in a field, I feel like, that's really kind of like males. You've shown a lot of empowerment. Like, there's a lot of girls who have came up to me and been like, oh, thanks for Rachel, because not only is she good at what she does, but every time I go in there, it's almost like free therapy. And you push them to be better as a woman. And so then I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, thanks for saying that. And that is also, I will say, I've gotten this feedback. Jamie and Kelly have both gotten this feedback as female doctors, is that even from male patients, they have said, like, I was maybe skeptical about seeing a female practitioner. I'm a big dude, you know, I didn't know if you'd be able to help me. But I actually now prefer going to a female doctor, because it feels like you actually listen to me, and it feels like you actually, like, care about what I have to say. And I'm not saying all male doctors are that way, but maybe more stereotypically, not as willing to listen or get to know you as much or take the time. And so that's something that I feel like we do really well, and an added benefit of a female doctor.
Absolutely. That's awesome.
And thanks for all of your referrals, by the way.
I keep pumping them.
You keep pumping them.
I keep trying.
Since day one.
Yeah, and what sucks is that, like, I know I'm not going to get in trouble for this, and if I do, it's fine. But, like, we have our own practice that has chiropractic and physical therapy, so that sucks, because a lot of the patients are like, oh, I need a physical therapist, and I'm like, the Body Lab.
Well, I'm sure the physical therapists and chiropractors at your guys' office are fabulous.
They're great. Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm sure they because you guys probably take insurance, and it's right there.
Yes.
And that definitely fills a need, for sure. So,
what's your opinion on insurance, and why do you think they should cover chiropractic, or if they shouldn't?
Oh, my opinion on insurance is, with the current system within which it's operating, it's just not set up for the patient's success, which is why I ultimately decided not to take it. I was at a practice before I opened the Body Lab that did take insurance, and I saw very quickly how that could go wrong. So, for example, I treated very similarly to how we do at the Body Lab. You know, I'd spend 30 minutes to an hour with the patient. We would do some dry needling. We would do some adjusting. We'd take a look at their deadlift. We would do all this stuff. And then we would put it in our little codes for the insurance. We would send them the claim. And they would be like, oh, that's nice that you dry needled the patient. We actually don't cover that. So we're only going to reimburse you $15, $20, $30. And I would be like, wait, that's like $15 an hour? Like, I'm a doctor? Like, why did I go to school and take out all these student loans if I'm just going to have an insurance company tell me how I can treat my patients and also decide what they're going to pay me? And so then very quickly you can see from the practitioner standpoint or the business standpoint, you're incentivized to then not do those things that don't get reimbursed, even if it's what the patient needs. So I just decided I want to take that out of the equation because I don't want someone telling me that I'm not going to get paid for dry needling or whatever service it is. I want to be able to say, hey, this is what I think you need. This is what I think is best for you. And we don't have anyone telling us what we can do, so we're going to do it anyway. So that's why I chose that model, because I think it's better for the patient.
Which I like, because even at our clinic, same thing happens. You know, people come in for diabetic nail trims, and it's like we have to code it so many different ways just for insurance to cover it. And it's like, do you not realize this person is like 80 years old and they can no longer trim their nails? Oh, well, that doesn't matter. Like, what else is going on? It's like, what do you mean? That should be sufficient.
And then think about how much extra unnecessary work that creates for you and other staff on the back end of having to deal with all these claims coming back and being like, oh, we're denying this, recode it. And then you're trying to recode it, and then you send it back, and it's this back and forth. And how many hours do you lose in a day or in a week just negotiating or recoding or fighting with insurance companies? That is so unnecessary.
Okay, x-rays or MRIs?
It totally depends on what is going on. I mean, if it's a joint issue, I probably want an x-ray first. If it's more soft tissue related, I want an MRI. So it just depends.
Ice or heat?
I'm a heat girl. I think ice can be nice from like a pain management standpoint, but a lot of times we want to bring more blood flow to the area and heat up and warm up those tissues. So I'm a big heat over ice kind of girl.
How about like, what would you recommend for someone that came in and they have like knee pain and they're like, okay, I have this cream, it's called Tiger Balm. What would you recommend instead of Tiger Balm?
Instead of Tiger Balm?
Yeah. Or would you recommend Tiger Balm?
I like Tiger Balm. I think it's like any type of like topical cream like that has kind of that like minty, like makes it feel cool or warm. Like similar to Rock Sauce, which is what we use in our office, or BioFreeze. It feels nice. It's not really doing anything from like an actual healing standpoint.
Okay.
Like if you have damaged tissues usually need load and blood flow in order to heal. And so putting this cream on your knee is not really doing much from like a loading standpoint. It's not loading it at all, but it might feel nice and it might kind of make the area tingly, which tells your brain, hey, this doesn't hurt as much. So temporary relief, I'm cool with it.
Okay. I never knew that about that. Like lotions and creams. Because like in my household, being Hispanic, we were like Tiger Balm, everything. Or Vicks Vapor Rub, everything. You, like, your auntie, like, tripped and fell?
Tiger
Vicks.
Balm.
No, Vicks Vapor
Vicks.
Rub. Yeah, Vicks everything or Tiger Balm. Those two were, like, things in our counters.
There is this thing that happens in your brain. I'm going to forget what it's actually called. I think it's called, like, the pain gateway theory or something. I don't think that's right. But that basically says that your brain can only focus on one sensation at a time. And so how Vicks or Tiger Balm work is if you have a pain sensation in your knee, your brain is thinking, I feel the pain sensation. If you rub your knee with your hand and you give it a little bit of like touch, or you put a tingly lotion on it, suddenly your brain is like, ooh, tingling. We're going to think about the tingling instead of the pain. It doesn't make the pain go away. It's basically just a trick for your brain. Which is why when it wears off or you wash it off or the next day, you're like, oh, my knee pain is back.
Okay, yeah. I know that. That's good to know.
Now you know.
Now I know.
Still use Tiger Balm. It's great, but don't think that it's like actually healing your
like
tissues.
Like the magical wand
that
everybody wants.
Yeah, right.
There was something I was going to ask you, but I completely forgot. Oh, no, I remember. What book would you recommend right now that you're reading?
Ooh, are we talking fiction, nonfiction, self-help, anything?
Yeah, like right now, what's your number one book that you're like, you should read this because of whatever reason?
I read a book earlier this year called Against the Machine by Paul something. Can't remember his last name. Fair. And he writes a lot about technology and AI and spirituality, and the premise of his book is like, you know, technology is taking over the world. What do we do about it?
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful book, and it's a very profound book, and I really recommend anyone read it.
What's your input on AI?
Very loaded question. I have so many thoughts. First, before I start, are you an AI guy or no?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I used AI for today's interview, like part of it, like just to see like what it would do for me, and the whole thing is scripted, like from the whole thing. I'm not following a single thing that's saying.
But it gave you an outline.
Oh, for sure. Like segment number 3, and then you can go deeper, and then segment number 4, like the whole thing, all the way to outro.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like AI. I use AI. I kind of divide my AI usage into 2 buckets.
Okay.
Or general AI usage into 2 buckets. The first bucket being kind of mindless tasks that it can save you a shit ton of time on. Love. Hey, ChatGPT, here's my meal plan for the week. Make my grocery list. Boom, boom, boom. Here's your grocery list. Great. Now I don't have to spend 20 minutes doing that. Where I don't like it is any sort of like thinking that you have to do. Like if I want to write a blog about something for the Body Lab, while yes, AI could pump out that blog in 2 seconds flat and I could post it on my website and most people wouldn't know the difference.
Yep.
That takes out my thinking and my creative process. And I really value like the voice of the Body Lab and the thought leadership of the Body Lab being very human. Like I always want anything that people consume from the Body Lab to be from me and not just a generic AI blog that it writes, you know? So
Yeah.
if I'm like sending an email or writing a caption or writing a blog, like anything that requires me to like actually think through an idea and understand an idea enough to be able to write about it, I want to do that, even if that's going to take me 5 times as long. If it's a task that's mindless and will save me time, yeah, I'll have ChatGPT do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was looking for on like the Take a Break, the podcast, right? I was like, oh my God, I don't even know what I'm going to ask her. Like, I really hope she's having fun. And so then I was like, oh, wait, hold on, I have AI. I can do this. And I read it and I was like, oh, I'm going to have to keep looking at my phone. And it's not going to feel very like conversational, you know, and it takes out that whole human aspect of a podcast, and it's going to sound like it is scripted, which was, and I don't want that.
I think it can be a great starting point. Like I'm sure reading through the script was like, oh, this is helpful. Like I could ask this, or I didn't think about this. It kind of like can give you that roadmap, but AI also doesn't know me like you know me.
Right.
And so AI could never think of asking me Drake versus Kendrick.
Yeah.
Like AI would never, I'm sure that wasn't on your outline. Right. So it serves a place for sure and can be helpful, but I don't think anything will ever replace the human aspect. And I think humans are also very intelligent and we're going to start getting really sick and tired of AI generated content.
I was talking to someone a little bit ago about how a lot of people forget that we're humans and we're learning every day. You know, you wake up and you might learn something new, which is the purpose of being a human. You know, like you're not supposed to know everything. And the people that are like, oh, I know everything, to me, I think they're dumb because it's like, so what you're saying is if you know everything, you could be a chiropractor, you could be a doctor. I don't think so, you know?
For sure.
So it's like people are just starting to forget they're human sometimes, and so then they use AI. And so then, like you said, at some point we're going to be like, okay, this is not me anymore. Like I want to be a human and I want to post my own things or sound human.
Yeah, and I think people forget that AI still makes mistakes. Like AI doesn't know everything. Like I've asked AI a couple questions about, I forget what, but it was straight up wrong. And that still required me having to know that and think about that. You can't just don't believe everything you read on the internet. Don't believe everything AI says. And yeah, I think part of maturing is realizing like the older you get, the less things that you actually know because there's infinite things to know about. So
yeah.
How about the side tangent? How about the people with like AI girlfriends and boyfriends?
I don't understand that. Like
that is breaking my heart.
I think they're just lacking like a friend. I think that's all you're lacking is a friend. And make more friends, and then eventually you'll get to a friend that's like romantic, and then you'll end up having a girlfriend or a boyfriend. You shouldn't be expecting all that from your phone.
I think we are in a loneliness epidemic. I think there's more people now than ever who are so lonely because people are isolated and on their phones more and can just talk to AI. And so I think it makes sense when you look at the loneliness epidemic and you're like, oh, people don't either want to or know how to go out and make actual friends or find a partner or put themselves out there.
Yeah.
So they'll just have an AI girlfriend or boyfriend. But it's sad.
It is.
It's really sad.
Yeah, that's kind of worrisome.
Okay, I have another question for you. As I've been reading about this loneliness epidemic, it's definitely more prevalent in like Gen Z and what's the one below them, Gen Alpha.
Yeah.
But there have been claims that it's worse in men. Like loneliness is worse in men across all generations, not just those younger generations. Do you notice that in your male peers or just when you're out in the world? Like, is that something that you agree with?
Yeah, 100%. I know a handful of guys that might have girlfriends or they might not, and they're very much just at home, not doing anything. They're not being social. They don't want to go out. So I'm just like, what are you doing, And, oh, it's just hanging out by myself. But sometimes I do miss hanging out with the bros. And so I'm like, so you are lonely, though. But what are you trying to mask your loneliness with? Is it video games? Or is it like, I don't know, watching TV? Because that's not very healthy. If you are tired of being alone, then you need to go out a little bit out of your comfort zone to figure that out.
And why do you think it is that so many people, and in this case men, are choosing to isolate themselves and stay home versus going out into the world? Are they just afraid? Do they lack confidence? Do they not know how?
I think confidence. I think that's it. I mean, for myself, for sure. Like, there's times that I lack confidence and I won't approach someone because I'm like, oh, I'm not that confident. Like, I'm not wearing that piece of item today. Like, maybe I'm not wearing a necklace. Like, I'm not that confident today.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Then I feel like that's a lot for a lot of guys. They're like, oh, I didn't get a haircut today, so I'm not going to approach that person. Or I'm just not confident in general because of my image,
And do you think that is worsened by social media and the fact that we can see so many just like beautiful and perfect people on our screens every day that then we compare ourselves and we're like, oh, well, I don't look like that, so...
Yeah. I went through a very immature point in my like growth that I was comparing myself to... Have you heard of Russ Swole? No, he's a powerlifter. So Russ Swole is like a 90 kg powerlifter, and he just does some crazy numbers. Crazy physique. And I would compare myself, and I'm like, I'm never going to get to 800 pounds. I'm never going to be able to bench 400, And so I wasn't very confident in the gym until Mikey, which is my current coach, he's very much like a guidance of like, okay, you can't compare yourself to us because you're two different individuals. He's been in the game for 10 plus years. You've been in the game for 3. Like, you can't do that kind of stuff. Of course you can't bench or squat 800 pounds right now. But the key word is right now. You might be able to do it in 10 years. You're just going to have to get there.
And that's the piece that you don't see from an Instagram video. You don't see like, hey, I've been doing this for 10 years. And also, this is my job. So I sleep for 12 hours and I have a chef prepare all my meals and I make sure I get all my protein and I'm on all these steroids or supplements or whatever it is. Yeah. You don't see any of that.
No, you don't. And that's where I think most guys should look into. Like, okay, I'm not going to get fast results no matter what coach I hire, or whatever creatine might be the new fad. Like, it's not going to work. Like, you still got to put the work in.
Yes.
Sure. So what's your input on steroids?
My input on steroids, I don't take steroids, if that's what you're asking.
No, of course you don't.
I guess I just don't. Obviously in like a competition setting where they are illegal or not allowed, don't use them. If you are just living your life and going to the gym and want to get super juiced and want to use steroids, that's your prerogative. I guess I don't care. Obviously, there are some negative side effects that come along with them, and I just want everyone, like I know several people on them, I just want everyone to make an informed, educated decision if they decide to use them.
Yeah, social media lately, it's this whole peptide thing is really huge, and they're posting on Instagram like, oh, you take this peptide, it'll do this and this and this, but I don't think there's enough research, or they don't tell you enough. Like you said, they don't tell you enough. They're just like, oh yeah, the peptide will do this, just to go ahead and take it. And so then they take it, and then there's side effects, and then they're like, why did no one tell me about the side effects?
Right.
Yeah, so.
I think it's a very dangerous game to play, and conversations I've been having in my treatment room a lot lately are about the peptide, the GLP-1, the weight loss peptides. And obviously they're crazy effective for weight loss, and they can be hugely helpful for people with food noise or trouble controlling their appetite or just poor eating patterns. I'm never gonna like totally knock them, but I've had a couple people in my office lately very alarmed that they're like just finding out that a side effect of being on a GLP-1 is loss of muscle mass and bone density.
Wow.
And it's like, well, yeah, like when you're eating perpetually in a calorie deficit,
Yeah.
especially if you're not strength training, the first thing to go is your muscle mass and your bone density. And maybe to some people that's common sense, but to the majority of people who just want to lose weight and want to get on one of these aren't thinking about that, and their doctor probably isn't taking the time to sit down and have that conversation with them. Or worse, if they're getting it off the internet and just having it delivered to their door, they're probably not having that educational conversation about, here's the reality of what can happen if you don't do this very carefully. And then we have a lot of people very surprised or in bad situations. So not to get too far into the GLP-1 conversation, but
Yeah.
I do think people need to be more informed about what they're putting into their bodies.
Crazy thing you said, that the internet, you can get those stuff off the internet, right? And I went one time before doing the podcast, I wanted to go on Row just to see how quickly you could get any prescription. And you could lie. You could just be like, oh yeah, I'm suffering from like ED, right? And it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna just lie about this and this and this and this. And then suddenly some doctor pops up and is like, oh, well, I'll just give you Viagra. Just like that.
It's crazy.
I was like, what? Okay.
It's literally crazy.
And before, it's like, you go to your primary. I don't think your primary is going to be like automatically like, here's some Viagra.
Right.
They're going to be like, let's do some other stuff.
Let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
Let's talk about options.
Yeah. So that was crazy to me how quickly it was just to get any food, not supplements. Yeah, supplements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a patient as well who went onto one of those websites. She had an event coming up and she wanted to, drop a quick 10 pounds to look snatched for this event. And she went onto this website, puts in her height and weight and all her information, and they told her, you don't qualify for a GLP-1 because your BMI is healthy and you don't need one. So she creates a new account, lies about her weight, lies about her BMI, and they're like, oh, here's a GLP-1 straight to your door, which was way too high of a dose. It was for the weight that she lied about.
Oh.
And so, this woman is having a tough time with the side effects and the repercussions of that. But it's crazy that you can just go onto the internet and lie and have it delivered to your door. And these companies are like so cutely branded, and it makes it feel like everyone's doing this and it's totally fine and safe without being clear about the actual dangers and side effects. So
the internet is super toxic.
It's a crazy place.
Yeah, you can find absolutely anything on the internet.
Delivered to your door, man.
Delivered to your door. You have to see anybody. It's just like Amazon, like that.
I have a feeling that in the next, hopefully in the near future, there will be some sort of guidelines put on peptides and these like straight to your door types of drugs, because clearly they're being abused.
People are just lying just to get them. Yeah. What's the craziest thing that people would never guess about you?
Oh, wow. Let me think about that for a second. Like anything? Anything you like, you wouldn't guess that about me. I showed sheep in 4-H growing up.
Oh.
I was like a real small town kid. And I think most people when they meet me assume that I'm either from Lincoln or from a bigger city, and I think that's like kind of my style, my vibe maybe, but I definitely grew up in a small town and I showed sheep, and I would like walk my little sheep around town. Okay. My little muck boots on.
Wow.
Yeah, most people wouldn't guess that.
The whole thing.
Were
you in 4-H?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I was winning some ribbons in 4-H.
Wow. Do you still have them?
I think my mom actually does have them somewhere in a tote somewhere in our basement. Yeah.
I feel like parents hide those things from us. And
they're like, we have to keep this forever.
Yeah, my mom was weird. Love my mom, but she used to keep my teeth.
Shut up.
Dead ass. She's gonna hate me for telling that.
Like the teeth that you would lose and give to the tooth fairy. She's like, I gotta hang on to
these. And I found them one time, and I was like, Mom, that's not normal.
Like that's actually gross.
Yes.
I mean, it's cute.
No, it's not cute.
Maybe.
It's not cute.
I feel like so my mom used to scrapbook a lot. Did your mom do that?
Yes.
And I don't think I'm making this up. I am recalling in one of my scrapbooks, my like first haircut, she kept like a little like chunk of my hair and like put it in a little. Is that different?
That's different because it's not coming from your mouth. It's like hair. It's like I would probably do the same thing about a kid. I would be like, oh, you know,
their first hair.
Yeah, their first hair maybe, but I wouldn't be like, oh, their first tooth.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah, it's weird. I love her.
I think it's both. Yeah.
I love my mom, but she's done some weird things.
If you have a kid of your own, maybe you'll see it differently. You'll be like collecting their little teeth.
Maybe, and then one day I'll pop up to the body lab with a bag full of teeth. We're gonna cut it short, but what kind of image do you like to portray yourself to other people?
Like personally, or
because there's two different Rachels I know.
Oh, you tell me.
There's the body lab Rachel, and then this is the Rachel.
How do you see those as different?
So the body lab Rachel is very much like professional.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's little tiny areas of like you'll cuss in the room, and then you'll like talk about just random things, right? You'll ask me like how I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And yes, I agree with people's comments how sometimes it feels like therapy going to see you. And so then I see that aspect. But then I also see this like cool vintage Rachel that like loves to travel and just like takes cool pictures all the time.
Wow, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that's accurate. I kind of envision it as like I have like two different like sides of my personality. One is very like sporty and like I'm a chiropractor and I own a business and that requires certain things from me. And then I have this other like actually very like creative and kind of free-spirited side of me that loves to wear vintage clothes and travel and drink nice wine and like do that. And so I feel like maybe I'm able to shapeshift a little bit, but I do feel like maybe they combine a little bit because I'm in my treatment room, like you said, I'm not just super buttoned up and professional. Like I like to just kind of have a good time and drop a cuss word every now and then. Yeah.
I've never seen, like Dr. Holba is who I also work for, and he's always like nice button-up t-shirts. I've never seen you in like a button-up t-shirt.
You will never catch me at work in a button-up t-shirt or a polo.
Yeah, no.
You will never, or scrubs even. That's like they're not stretchy enough.
Yeah, I don't like scrubs.
I gotta be in like flowy, like comfy pants and sneakers.
That was a more norm of like, you can represent like the company, but chill, like, and relax.
Just
like,
be chill, guys.
Yeah, I don't know why it's like scrubs and are super tight. And I'm like, oh my God, can you breathe in that? Because I couldn't breathe in that. Maybe it's because I have a wide back, but I don't know. You know, like, absolutely not.
If the shirt is not stretchy, I will bust it open trying to adjust someone. So we're not doing that. And I also think that we could, I feel like we've talked about this. I feel like we could have maybe a little mental shift of like what professional is. Like that doesn't require a tie and like shiny shoes. Like you can have tattoos actually and wear baggy t-shirts and still be professional. Right. I think we're trending in that direction.
We kind of are. I've had a lot of patients compliment me on my tattoos and they're not like, oh, why'd you get that? I've had one person tell me, why did you get that? And why are you so tattooed? It was
like they wanted to know the story behind them, or they were just like, why do you have tattoos?
They were judging.
Oh, they were judging.
100%. And I was like, well, let me tell you about my tattoos. And they all have a story behind them.
For sure.
And so I got to one of them that is pretty deep. And so I told her, and she was like, oh, okay. Like she felt awkward asking me that. And I'm like, you probably shouldn't just go around asking people or judging people on what they put on their body.
And also, how is it affecting them at all?
Yeah, no, it's annoying. So you're cool with tattoos in your practice?
Yes, I think all of my people
Do
who
they?
work for me have tattoos.
Oh, nice.
I'm pretty sure.
Because you have
Most of
tattoos,
them.
obviously.
I have tattoos, yeah.
Do you have a tattoo for your husband?
I do.
Really?
Yeah, I got it when we had been dating for like literally 2 weeks.
Okay, what is it?
It's my little 8-ball back here. There's a long story behind it, but it's like inside thing. But yeah, we had just started dating, and I went on a trip to New York with my girlfriends, and there's this tattoo artist in New York that every time I'm there, I get tatted by her. I think she's just the coolest and does great work. And my friends were like, okay, are we gonna go get tattooed? And I was like, crap, what do I want to get? And I was like, I'll get a tattoo for Hunter. They're like, you've been dating for like 2 weeks. I'm like, it's okay, I'm gonna marry him. So I'm not crazy about the idea of getting like his name on me, but like this 8-ball, like if anything were to happen, no one would know that that's for Hunter, you know?
Yep. That's how there's one tattoo on here that has that same story, and like, oh well.
It's better than straight up name. I think.
I mean, I'm not gonna tattoo. Well, the only tattoo of a name is my dad's. That's it.
That's safe.
Yeah, that's it.
Totally
like parents,
fine.
like I get that, or maybe like a sister or brother.
Totally different.
But I'm not. No matter how much I love you, no matter how long we've been married, I'm not tattooing me.
I think it's just asking for trouble.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's like a bad omen or something.
I had a patient tell me that she has her ex-girlfriend's favorite quote in her foot, and they broke up, obviously. And she was like, yeah, my current girlfriend doesn't like that. And I'm like, you think?
You think?
Yeah.
Once again, though, better than a name.
That's true. That is true. Okay, well, I think that's it for today.
I'm honored to be on the debut podcast.
Yeah, I had a lot of people requesting you.
That's so kind.
Yeah, they wanted to know the chiropractic part, because they want to. It was almost like a trial, a free little 1-day trial.
Everyone's interviewing me, actually.
Yeah, they all wanted to know, like, the difference, basically.
Well, I hope I provided enough clarity.
Yeah.
You can always reach out to me, thebodylabLNK.com, if you have more questions.
Do you run the Body Lab, like the Instagram?
I do.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Do you ever get overwhelmed?
Yes.
I bet you do.
Yeah, I hate it.
I'm one of them that DMs you once in a while.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that.
I would say I wouldn't mind it because I'd be like, oh my god, my Instagram is blowing up.
No, I don't mind the DMs. It's more like creating the content that I just don't love. But no, DM me. I welcome a DM.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I have you and like a little teams with Mikey, my coach.
Great.
Yeah, so it's just like, I don't know. I feel free to DM you questions.
Speed dial.
Yeah. So guys, I want to again thank you for coming on board.
Thank you for having me.
I will make sure to give you your gift. Do you want me to tell you what it is?
Oh, that's up to you.
That's up to you, really. I'm a giver.
I kind of want it to be a surprise.
Okay, then it'll be a surprise.
Okay.
And then we'll post it.
Great.
Cool.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Cheers.
Thank you.